Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean. And the song of the Swamney swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffler trees, the bright-coloured tufts of the truffler trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw the brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffler trees, fruits. From the rupulous ponds came the comfortable sound of the hummingbird fish humming while splashing around.
I saw it. Allt queenigt.
But those trees, those truffler trees. All my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I unloaded my cart. At no time at all I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffler tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took that soft tuft and knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked, I saw something pop up out of that stump. Of the tree I'd chopped down, it was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. "Mister," he said with a dusty sneeze, "I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs." He was upset, very upset, as he shouted and puffed. "What's that thing that you've made out of truffler tuft?" "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no need cause for alarm. I just chopped down one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. The thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers, or bicycle seats." The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that fool's thneed." But the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just as that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up, if you please." I rushed across the room, and in no time at all I'd built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called to my brothers, my uncles and aunts. I said, "Listen here, there's a wonderful chance for the whole Once-Left family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weekarken, sharp right at Snell Snitch. And in no time at all, the factory I'd built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting feeds just as busy as bees to the sound of the chopping of truffler trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So quickly I invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffler trees in one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I am also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffler fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffler fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots are getting all the crummies, because they have gas and no food in their tummies."
Poor things.
They loved it here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. "Good luck, boys," he cried, as he sent them away. I then once-a felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and businesses must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of needs that I shipped out to. I was shipping them forth, to the south, to the east, to the west and the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes, when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snuggled. He sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a scrofulous croak, "Onceler, you're making such smorgalous smoke. My poor Swamney swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here." "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about this gluppity-glop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glub and schlippity-schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary. I hear things are just as bad up at Lake Erie." And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffler trees into thneeds, which everyone needs.
What a greedy little guy. There is no more trees left. Hey?
And at that very moment we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a smackering smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffler tree of them all. No more trees, no more thneeds, no more work to be done, so no more time. So in no time my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved me goodbye, and they jumped into my cars and drove away under the smog-smothered stars. Now all that was left was the bad-smelling sky. 'Neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing and just gave me a glance. He gave me a sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget that grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And that was all the Lorax left behind in this mess, was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just wouldn't have guessed. But that was long, long ago. But each day since, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better, it's not. So, catch, calls the onceler, and he lets something fall. It's a truffler seed. It's the last one of all. And you're in charge of the last truffler seeds, and the truffler trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffler, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest protected from axes that hack, then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back.